we're going to work on add device data to PayPal checkout. So previously, we didn't know how to verify if Braintree was sending the wrist data to PayPal. We got a tip to check if Braintree is responding with this wrist data section. However, I wasn't able to ask if this wrist data section is something that is returned during authorization or during the actual payment transaction. So I'm going to test right now if it's sent after authorization. I did this earlier, but I wasn't able to test it with PayPal because there's PayPal seems to have an ongoing maintenance. So what I'll do is I'll test it first on the hosted fields. If we look at our hosted fields, we want to pause before the window redirects to the confirmation page. And that happens when? On submit, tokenize. So this is the form hook. On submit, we tokenize if error, etc. Then PayPal form.submit. So we're going to pause at this break here. Okay. So we're going to look for this function, and we're going to pause before we submit. So let's try it now. Okay, so that didn't work. Did I pause at the correct place? Let's try again. Let's go back to payment. Assets, Solidus, CSS, checkout. Yeah, we did. Okay. Sorry, this is for, I believe this is when verify. So this is the part where we want to pause. Okay, the one we break before is with the 3D secure instance. Let's try again. Save and continue. There. So we should see the payload from here. Let's close all of the other tabs. Let's try and figure out how to display the console, because I can just switch. Well, it would be ideal if I can just display it, but it's embarrassing that okay, there. Alright, so I should be able to see our payload. Oops. Just press escape. Payload. If error, payload nonce, client data payloads. Okay. Let's expand this. Details. We have a nonce. Details. There's our credit card information. I don't think we submitted anything yet, but I am not sure. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, our payload has bin data, description, details, nonce and type. Okay, so it seems like the response that is something that should go during at this part when we place the order. Where are we likely to see that response? I'm guessing in the, let's check in the console. Let's check our code first before we do the transaction. We know that transaction import, well, transaction controller will be importing the transaction. Transaction controller creates a transaction from the transaction parameters. Transaction parameters are taken from the params. We import current order transaction. Alright, so let's open our sandbox. This is a template, so we have to, if we want to break at that controller, we have to break within the sandbox. I want to see if we're going to receive any. Well, before we continue, let's double check if there was any response recorded in the log. We can check out confirm. Okay, so this looks like the response. Merchant ID. Okay, we posted a response for the customer. Okay, so based on the highlighted example, it seems like this should appear in the console, Rails console. So let's try and search for this REST data. Maybe it was already sent. No result. Maybe during the actual transaction. Okay, let's try. I saw Braintree a few times. Let's try and okay, maybe we can wrap it, and then let's go up. There's our transaction. Ah, there's the risk data. Okay, so it was approved. Fraud protection, device data captured. At least now we can see it. Now we know how to see it. It's on the final transaction. Now let's try again. Let's see if we can check out with PayPal this time. This was, yeah. Okay. Okay. Seems like there's an issue with PayPal at the moment. So I can't verify a new PayPal checkout. Maybe I can. What would happen if I use a previous PayPal, a saved PayPal source? Alright, time is 9:15. Let's look for Braintree again. Time now is 9:15. Let's look for risk data. I can't seem to find it. PayPal doesn't seem to have any. Let's double check. What should risk data look like? Yeah, like that. If I try to look for risk, didn't seem to send any risk data. No. Let's double check. It's a very big response. Transaction, ID, status type, the customer information, the billing information, shipping information, AVS, credit card, PayPal. Under PayPal, we have all of this. Okay, I'm not seeing the risk data. Okay. One more test, not related to this, but I also want to check if we can, okay, let me just set it up first. Okay, what would happen if I choose a previous Braintree payment source? Will it, that payment source should have device data stored in the database. I'm wondering if that device data will be used to when we submit, if we'll see that REST data, or okay, I'm wondering if the device data will be sent to Braintree, and if Braintree will return the REST data section in the response. So 919. Let's try looking for REST data again. There. So this is 919. So we've confirmed that if we're using hosted field information, where Braintree is receiving the device data. But if we use a previous PayPal transaction, we don't receive any REST data. We don't know if there's we need to make any additional configuration in Braintree in order to enable device data collection. So I guess we'll just stop right here.